Okay, people. So this is gonna be my transition. I just played in Low Elo Legends middle bracket, and now I am going to switch it over. I'm gonna cast the top, middle, and bottom bracket finals. I hope that I'll get to them. Yeah, I mean, it obviously depends on if the brackets align and all that, but in general, that's the plan. So, welcome to this little video of the Low Elo Legends 124 Rising Empires tournament. My name is Maneas, if you haven't guessed, and we are going to start it off with the top bracket, with one of the top bracket semifinals, Parkour Freak against Wakky. And I'm going to switch the scene over, we're in-game already, and then we can hit unpause right away. And why is it going so fast, by the way? This is really... Wait, this shouldn't be so fast. I didn't say live. Or did I say live? Why is it on ×8? That doesn't make sense. Okay. Let's try again. So Parkour Freak playing Order of the Dragon in green. I wanna switch that over. Why can I... Nope. Okay, I'm gonna switch that over. I fucking wish I could switch it over. I have to figure out that command once again, because right now it's kind of on opposite sides. It doesn't look too great, but Parkour Freak playing Order of the Dragon against Wakky playing the Japanese map is Dry Arabia, and we already have some Dark Age shenanigans. So barracks in the Dark Age for the Japanese, getting them very cheap for 75 wood. I still don't know why. And he is not looking to just push in deer, so that's one of the options that pros have recently discovered, or rediscovered even, is to push in the deer all the way down to your town center, and you have some very nice food income, because it is kind of annoying. Like, Pro Scouts has been nerfed a couple times, it's been more expensive now. And it also, the scouts also are a lot slower actually. And so it just takes a little bit more time and more effort and more investment and all that. And so people have figured out, if you're just going for the Dark Age barracks, you're gonna need the spears eventually at some point anyway. Especially against some matchups, you need the spearmen anyway. For example, against tower rushes and things like that. And then you can just push in the deer. You need a couple spearmen, you just align them outside and then just slowly push them in. That is definitely one option. The other option is, as we see, Wakky going aggressively on the Order of the Dragon. The thing is, don't let yourself be fooled. The Gilded Villagers, they are very tanky, 65 health instead of 50, and they also deal 7 damage compared to 6 damage. So, I mean, it doesn't feel like super massive, 6 damage versus 7. But wait, actually... Yeah, it should be 6. Yeah, it's 6 damage. So a little bit more damage, a little bit more health. And so overall, Dark Age Spearman, not really a good match here against a couple of the Gilded Villagers. He wasn't able to kill one of them. He did a little bit of damage, but he just pulls them back. And sooner or later, you will have a prelate with Order of the Dragon in Castle Age. And then you can just go and heal them up again. So as long as you don't lose them, it doesn't really matter at all. And so Dark Age Spearman, I don't think a great match against Order of the Dragon. He could have gone for the Samurai as well. They're also available in the Dark Age. But that, of course, would slow down his feudal age even more. Parkour Freak is already preparing for some more aggression here. The tower will secure the gold, it will also secure the berries at some point once he switches to that, and he's aging up with the Minework Palace, so he is looking to match that aggression, not looking for the Aachen Chapel. Meanwhile, Wakky is currently, at least for now, stopping the Dark Age aggression, but he also is on 6 spears, so that is quite a lot. He is also denying a lot of resources, to be fair, but that is quite a heavy investment, and as soon as this comes up, you will have the Horsemen and the Gilded Archers, which are really tough to deal with, to say the least. So that is gonna be that. I do want to switch that over. I do. Oh, there it is. That was it. I need to remember that command. I don't use it that often, those hotkeys. So now they're on the right side, Parkour Freak on the left, Wakky is on the right, and is quite far away from Feudal Age actually. So he scouted out the Minework Palace, he knows that is coming up, and he's also scattering the deer on the left side already, so looking to disrupt as much as possible. But on the other hand, I don't know, I mean, yeah, at some point, Parkour Freak will run out of food, and he doesn't have to, like, he will not. You don't want to do a farm transition early on with Order of the Dragon. That's definitely not your game plan. So there's a lot of resources that are being denied, as well as this one here. So that is huge. That is very, very good. But he does have the berry still. So even though it's a slower resource, you can still go for that. And that will help moving him over to the Castle Age. And we can see, like, if we're looking at the resources, 400 something gold, 600 something, almost 700 food. That is looking like a very, very fast castle. Also because he's only going up with one villager. He wants to go to Feudal Age, obviously, but he doesn't need to rush it. He doesn't want to go with 4 or 5 villagers. He just goes with one. The minimal effort, he will get there, and more or less fairly shortly after he reaches Feudal Age, he will already, like, he's almost there actually. So this is a very clean build that he's doing right now. Reaching Feudal Age, minute 6:20, very slow. You could say, oh, that's really bad. But he is very close to Castle Age. So in less than a minute, he will have the resources to go up to Castle Age. And so he will basically select, I would guess well, I mean, if you're going that fast, you could go for the Reckon's Cathedral. Basically by the time that Kura's Storehouse will be done. So this is, yeah, like, super clean build here. A little bit on wood just to go for the houses that you will need eventually. And a little bit, he was delayed a little bit in gold, a little bit of idle time here, and so that's why he just now is reaching. There's the Burgrave Palace. So definitely looking for some aggression here early on. And this is bad for Wakky, for sure. He doesn't know about that. I don't think he will scout that out. I think he's happy for now to deny that. He hit Feudal Age. He didn't upgrade the Spearman yet. And is now just looking to build up some more production, archery ranges. So it's gonna be mainly archers. Which they're faster, so they can always run away from the gilded units, especially with the Burgrave Palace. You will likely prioritize a melee unit composition because they act as a barracks, but they produce units a lot faster and a lot cheaper as well. The technology is faster as well, but costs the same, but the units are quite a lot faster produced and also cheaper. So this is, there's, like, I did the math one time because one of the admins asked me to, just curiously. I mean, he was joking, I guess, but anyway, I did it anyway. And you actually, over the course of the game, you save a couple thousand resources if you just spam the, you know, if you like, you spam Gilded Man-at-Arms and Gilded Spearmen and maybe some Landsknechts in the mix, you save a couple thousand resources over the course of the game. And so this is actually, if you're looking at what it saves you, if you spam out units, it actually is comparable to something like the Golden Horn Tower, or other unit producing buildings. And so very strong. I mean, yeah, especially with the Order of the Dragon. With the HIE, I don't prefer it as much because it's just faster. So it basically is 4 barracks, but that's about it. But with the gilded, with the Order of the Dragon, it actually provides a lot of resources that you save actually, and so that's very, very nice. Yumi Ashigaru on the hunt here, but again, this is gonna, yeah, you have Men-at-Arms, Castle Age Men-at-Arms. There's nothing that Wakky has right now on the field that can deal with that even remotely effectively. I mean, he does like Yume, doing 4 damage, and we're talking about 5 ranged armor. So this is literally only doing 1 damage. So it doesn't matter how much armor the opponent has, you will still do 1 damage. So it's not 0 damage. It will be 1 damage. But I mean, look at this, 290 health. Because it's, all of the dragon units very very tanky. This is basically no damage at all, and so it kind of looks scary if you're like running into the base with like 3 units here and you have like 20, 30 against you. But they're not doing any damage. 5 ranged armor, 4 melee armor, so this is also only doing 5 damage. So the spearmen doing 5 damage, but have like 1/4 of the health, or 1/3 rather. And so slowly but surely, with the help of the town center, you do get them down. And so, not super effective strategy here for Parkour Freak, but at the same time, this gives him the time that he needs. That probably was a misclick, because you surely wanted to pick up the relic. To pick up the relics, because if he can get the relic secured, even though he doesn't have the Regn's Cathedral, it doesn't really matter. It's a lot of extra gold that he can have for free, which is very very nice, and that will put another pressure point onto Wakky. He was able to pull to to push away or to destroy, to kill the Magilda Man arms, but there's like 4 more. It's kind of like the Hydra, you chop off 1 head and there's 4 more coming out. And so this is just keeping Wakky in his base. Again, like if you're looking just at resources that Parkour Freak is burning right now, he's killing a couple units, but that's not really super effective. But that's not the intention right now. The intention for him is to disrupt, to idle out equals 19 idle villagers right now. I don't even know where they are right now actually. There's 2 idle in here. Where are they? Okay, I mean they just moved, so I guess they're just yeah, but it's so many idle time, so much idle time here, caused by those couple units, and even though you kind of throw them away, you do still kill stuff, and you just, yeah, it's so much disruption, and Wakky is so much behind. He lost 3 villagers. He should, like, they're basically even on villagers, but all of the dragon units or villagers produce slower. And so in a regular game, if nobody loses any villagers, you should get ahead eventually. Like it's only 3 seconds. It's not a super lot big amount of time, but it does take a little bit more time to produce them. And so you should push ahead. And he's barely ahead just because he lost a couple villagers. And Yumi and Shigaru, I said they're faster, but it's still difficult to kite, and as long as you don't kite, you get 2-shot by, or 3-shotted by the Gilded Man at Arms. And again, there's, oh my goodness, that's a Gilded Knight, and that's basically the end of the game, because a Gilded Knight is really strong. Like if you're looking at the damage and the health, that's basically an elite cataphract, but you get it in Castle Age. It's also very expensive, obviously, so it's quite fair and balanced, I guess. But that was a brutal game. And Wakky trying to, like, I like the strategy at first to disrupt the opponent with the Dark Age Spearman, but I think, like, at first he lost the villagers and the Spearman, so that was not really great. And then he over invested into that, and yeah, even though the military count was way ahead, he lost so much. Not to mention that resource-wise, he was behind, like the whole game almost. And so I think in a situation like that is maybe you go for the Dark Age aggression, but just like 1 or 2 samurai maybe, and then you go for fast castle yourself. Because Japanese likes to go fast castle for a variety of reasons, and so I think that is something that you should still try to prioritize. Very interesting. Kareem apparently, so he won in the semifinals and then he got disqualified? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Oh, let's see. Okay, we'll just reset that match. Moderate. Oh wait, yeah, moderate. Report. Automatically disqualified. Yeah, I don't care. Summary. Report. Reset match. Reset. There you go. And that should be it, because yeah, why do you win in semifinals and then get disqualified and because you're not there? Like, that doesn't make sense. So okay, yeah, just refresh that one because yeah, that would suck. That would suck a little bit. Um, okay, while they sort that out, we can. Ooh, that is very nice. That is very nice. I will check out the middle bracket finals because I was just playing in them, like in that bracket, and I do want to see how that turned out. So let's switch that over. It is observable. That is wonderful. So we're gonna see a best of 3 this time. So the whole tournament is best of 1, but the finals is actually a best of 3. And Extremis or Extremis TV, he's also on Twitch, so check him out. He's live right now. I mean, as of the time of the recording, he is live. He might not be live when you watch this on YouTube, but anyway. So Legend Extremis is playing the Ayyubids on the left side of the map. It is gonna be Dry Arabia. I didn't check that early on. Against MountainAle, who is going to play the Rus. And so shout out to MountainAle. I played against him in the semifinals, Mongols against Delhi. It was a very fun match. But I didn't prepare in time for the elephants, and so he completely destroyed me. Which it was a very fun game. It was a lot of fun. I don't know. So shout out to him. He made it to the finals, and Extremis TV, who I also played against in round 3, I believe. He also made it to the finals. He won against I gotta double check the name, Sigitang or Sigiton because he's French. I don't know if he pronounces it that way. He won against him in the semifinals with Ottomans against Rus. So that must have been a very strong performance because Sigitang is also very, very strong, and that was actually the only game I lost in the group stage, besides the semifinals, obviously. But yeah, so Ayyubids opening up with the House of Wisdom, obviously, on the berries, so potentially not looking for the growth wing, because that would grant the ore cards at 50 additional food. So if you go for that, you probably split out the village. Like you still go for the berries, but you split them out one by one. So we're not gonna see a growth wing. And MountainAle opened up with 2 hunting cabins, is producing 2 more scouts. So he had 1 more, 2 more, now 1 more into queue, 3 scouts, which doesn't necessarily mean that he's gonna pro scout, but it is likely that he is looking to go for pro scouts. Rus also his main civ, so he's very good with Rus. And yeah, so that's basically the start. We can switch over the villager count, and then we can take a look at scouting pattern real quick. So Extremis looked on the right side for sheep, and now is moving towards the left side, and then moving towards the right side. Is going up with the military wing reinforcement. So that's gonna be the Desert Raiders. Not super surprising, that is a very popular wing choice for the feudal age, and also provides a lot of resources for you. MountainAle on the other side has almost completely scouted the whole map, which, I mean, he has 3 scouts, that accelerates this process quite a lot, and is going up with the Golden Gate. It's gonna be a little bit behind Ayyubids, which doesn't, yeah, not really surprising. Ayyubids usually have very good timings, and that's actually one of the strengths of Ayyubids, to hit good timings and then overwhelm your opponent with a good and solid timing. Golden Gate, nice save in the back here, so that should help with balancing your eco basically. It can also mean that he's looking for a second town center, because you can fairly easily buy the resources that you need, although then he would probably go on stone already. Or it could mean that you're just looking for a somewhat fast castle play. That also is very possible. Because the Roos, they do get a lot of bonuses from hitting castle age. If they're having a good spot for the high trade house, which this would be, this actually can be very, very nice. And then you get up your bounty even more, because right now he's only on tier 1, and the more you get, the better it is. And so clearly you kind of want to look for that as well. But there's different options that you can take as Roos as well. Both players almost exactly at the same time hitting feudal age. Just gonna take a sip from my bitter lemon. I do actually have ginger ale, so I could drink some ginger ale to, you know, celebrate MountainAle. But I don't want to come off as biased, so I'm just sticking to my bitter lemon for now. Ayyubids opening with a stable, which could in theory, okay, I was gonna say, like, in theory that could also mean that you're going for pro scouts. Because the Ayyubids, they don't have the option to go for scouts early on, except for the town center, which you don't want to do usually. So he's opening with the horsemen. Where is Desert Raiders, by the way? They should be on the way somewhere. I mean, it takes a couple seconds to move out at first, but he should... I'm really confused. Where is this Desert Raider? And he has only one. Did he lose one? No, he didn't lose one. I'm a little bit confused, but he should get two dervishes. Two Desert Raiders. But well, while this is going on, we see a wooden fortress here on the roof side. So increasing the wood eco here by 20%. 20%, yep. So that is quite nice. And the horsemen, super effective, obviously, to chase down the scout. Horsemen are faster, and so that is very nice and a good and easy way for you to make sure that I was disrupted by the Discord chat. Yeah, good way to balance to get down the scouts. I guess I completely forgot what I was going to say about that. It's been a long day, folks. But yeah, horsemen very, very strong against scouts. You basically have to run down to your town center, because otherwise you're gonna lose that scout for sure. Even if you drop the deer, you're still slower than the horsemen, and so they will kill you. And meanwhile, the Desert Raider is also there on the hunt. And yeah, more horsemen, archers being added even, so a kind of a balanced composition here by Extremis. And definitely trying to shut down pro scouts, and he's doing that fairly well. I mean, we get the steadier more, like closer and closer to MountainAle's base, but that is almost completely shut down. I mean, there's another scout over here. I believe that MountainAle lost 5 scouts, which is, or 5 or 6 scouts actually, so that is quite huge. He is going for a horseman now, has 1 horseman in queue, or on the field now, which horseman great against archers, I guess okay against horsemen. I mean, not like it's 1 against 1, basically 1 for 1. And so, yeah, that really is a tough position to be in. Moving into spearmen now, and also, yeah, 2 barracks coming up for MountainAle. He's really in trouble right now, losing the last scout of his. This is brutal. Very good aggression here by Extremis. Shutting down the pro scouting completely. I don't even know if MountainAle got anything out of that actually. I mean, I'm not sure if he dropped off some deer before. This is a sheep, so that's not, you know, I don't know, but kind of hard to find the deer here, but it doesn't look like there. So that's a sheep. This is gone now. I don't think that was. Yeah, anyway. So yeah, very good aggression and moving in now. A little bit of raid coming in here in the wood line. Unfortunately for Extremis, there's no villagers here at all. And because of the, this is so brutal. Because of the pro scouting being denied, MountainAle is actually lacking the gold, because Roos get gold by dropping off food or gathering food from sheep, deer, and boar. And so if you don't get that, you're bleeding dry here. He has to go on gold because he wants to go Castle Age. He really wants to go Castle Age. And then he might move into horse archers. And right now this little army of his is not able to contest with that at all. So yeah, this is really difficult. Now he's moving out on the berries because yeah, he's run out of food. He doesn't have any food left. He's moving now onto gold. But at the same time, it looks like he's skipping the fast castle idea, or abandoning it rather, because he doesn't have. Oh my goodness, this is really disrupted by Extremis here. Complete, like, pro scouts didn't work out. Now he didn't have the wood to even go for the hunting cabin because it costs 100 wood, and so the mill usually would be 50, and you have to pay 100 wood. So they have to go back and forth, and Extremis is actually clicking up to Castle Age a good solid time before MountainAle can do that, just because his plan was interrupted so heavily. Moving into Rams while he's aging up, will have a couple of 3 dervishes on the field really soon, and that means he can heal them up very, very nicely, and also pick up the relics. So all the things that MountainAle wanted to do completely disrupted. He's heavy on food, wood. That's the only thing that he can gather right now, and then now can finally go for the hunting cabin and get. I mean, going for the berries as Roos. This is really sad. Like, you usually don't want to do that. I mean, eventually maybe, but not in the first 15 minutes. That is for sure. He might be able to resume with the pro scouting for now, but at the same time, his opponent is hitting Castle Age. He doesn't know about that. He is stuck in space. He doesn't see anything. That is very, very unfortunate for him. He's now trying to regain a little bit of map control here, which this actually could indicate to him that his opponent is going to Castle Age, because why doesn't he want to fight this? The only reason is your opponent going Castle Age and he doesn't want to fight right now. I mean, he also doesn't have the archer numbers, only 8 archers, so MountainAle moving in, which is the perfect time actually to strike right now. A lot of spearmen, so he will be able to clear the horsemen even though his own horsemen are getting debuffed by the camel on ease, and so this is a very good push. And now Extremis hitting Castle Age, which basically signals to MountainAle, just continue, move on, and try to destroy that. And if he can get the rams, that would be 400 wood, that would be huge. So he can even try to go for a surround here, or just thin out the archer numbers, because as long as there's no archers, the spearmen are doing fantastic. And so a good timing here for MountainAle to pull the trigger. A very important win for him. If we're looking at destroyed value, almost 3,000 to 755, and 200 something of that were scouts. So in terms of army, MountainAle didn't even lose that much. There's 3 dervishes now on the run, so he is looking to pick up the relics, so he will get that. But in general, this was a very important fight here. MountainAle is now able to actually push Extremis off gold, and so the only gold income that he will have will be from the relics, which means there's not really gonna be Ghulams, there's not gonna be... I mean, he doesn't need crossbows, but there's not gonna be crossbows. There's not gonna be desert lancers, which would be quite painful to deal with, even with the spearmen. And so this actually turned the tide quite nicely. If MountainAle can now rebalance his eco, because he's floating 2000 wood, you usually don't want to do that obviously, now needs to go heavily onto food, and once he has that, he'll actually be able to hit castle in maybe 2 minutes. And he could even defend 1 or 2 of the relics still. Yeah, in terms of map control, he did regain a little bit at least, but he doesn't have a whole lot of vision. I mean, to be fair, neither player has a whole lot of vision here. Extremis even lost the scout, so doesn't have a scout at the moment. MountainAle back up to 6 scouts, and could now try to push out here. He does have a couple of Ghulams, so those are very difficult to deal with for the Rus army right now. There's no knights for MountainAle, there's no horse archers, which also would be good at kiting them. And so this actually could be a reverse sweep here for Extremis. His desert lancers and horsemen falling very quickly, but as you see, the Ghulams don't take any damage basically. I mean, when I say they don't take any damage, obviously they take damage, but not really a whole lot. And in the meantime, MountainAle was able to reach Castle Age, which 45 trees, that is quite a nice high trade house, that is fine. But yeah, as I said, a reverse sweep here, completely losing his army, and now moving into horse archers, which I am not sure if that's the greatest call, because they don't, I mean, they do bonus damage against nothing, so they won't, I mean, they have a high base damage, that's something for sure, but they're not really dealing a whole lot of damage against the Ghulams, and they're also getting the debuff from the camel on ease, so it's actually down to 10 damage, which they don't have a super high attack speed, which basically means they, I mean, 5 DPS is not really great for a Castle Age unit, I have to say. And so I think if he moved into crossbows, yes, they're slower, obviously, but they would get the job done. If you have like 5 or like he could have 5-6 crossbows by now here maybe. This would not happen. Like he has to run from the Ghulams, and there's more trickling in. Oh my goodness, this is when you would love to have the crossbows. He is moving to crossbows now. 3, he had 4 right now, 6 more in queue. He only has 2 archery ranges right now. He could go for a couple more. I mean, not right now because he's idled out. But yeah, horse archers, they're not really doing a whole lot here. Spearman getting killed before it can do anything. And crossbows is perfectly countering both units here, so I would adjust the rally point and then, yeah. What a shame. A little bit too late going into the crossbows. I think that should be the first thing that you do when you hit a castle age, especially if you don't like. I mean, if you have knights, you can deal with the ghulams. That's okay. And if you have spearmen to deal with the desert lancers, that's also fine. But if you don't have anything, like you don't have armored units and you don't have, so you don't have a front line basically, and you also don't have something to deal with the ghulams, and he's just streaming in ghulams, you're gonna lose it. Like that's plain and simple. So pretty brutal fight here. The reverse sweep, a very good fight here at the beginning, but then that was a brutal fight, and then you hit Castle Age and you have basically zero. Like a couple of those are even um, scouts, and so you basically have like a handful of units when you hit Castle Age, which is fine if you're going for a fast castle, but if you're not going for a fast castle, you should have some units left, and that was a brutal fight of for sure. But very solid played by Extremis here. Very good aggression, and yeah, very, very, very nice. Let's switch over to the lobby again. So that was the first of the three matches, possibly three matches. Extremis TV taking the first one against MountainAle. They should already be in the second game. No, they're online right now. Let's check their chat real quick. Okay, so they. Okay, the extremists took a 2-minute break, that's fine. And now they're going to the drafts. Um, in the meantime, I can check which map they're gonna play, because that was Dry Arabia. The next one. First on Dry Arabia, second on the. Well, no. Lose of the first game. Okay, Carmel. It's gonna be Carmel. And they're both in the draft right now. Ugh, I have to rant a little bit. I fucking hate when people don't read strategy and then they ping multiple admins because they can't figure out how to do anything. And I'm like, people, it's on strategy. Like, for real, just read strategy and you can figure out how to do stuff there. It's really really not that difficult. I mean, they're asking like, oh, how are we banning? It's like, well, it is right there. For best of three, each player first bans a map, then picks a home map, then takes turns banning the remaining maps until one remains. That map will be the starting map. Like, it doesn't get easier than that. Like, literally. And then I'm like, and at least one of them had been in the finals before, so I'm like, you should know about that. Like, you signed up for like 6, 7 tournaments by now. You have been in the finals before. You should know how that is done. It really isn't that complicated. It is all on strategy. Just read strategy and you'll be fine. I do not understand why people cannot read that and instead ping like 5 different admins just to have their hands being held. Basically, that's all it is. Like, plain and simple. Just read strategy. It's all there. We've been running this tournament for years now. and it's all there. Just read it. Which also I kind of would expect. If you're signing up for a tournament, you kind of read the rules. Like, I would expect that from you. I have to be blunt and honest with that. I would expect you to read the fucking rules. Like, the first time I signed up for Loyal Legends, like 3 years ago, I read the whole page twice before I signed up. And I could even answer questions in chat for other people when my first time was, basically. Because I read the rules. I knew what was going to happen. I knew how it's going to be played. Um, and that's it. Also, just have it open. Have the tab open the whole evening. And then you're good. You can just read it if you need something. So, yeah, a little bit of a sidetrack here. In the meantime, they did draft. So it's just going to be Carmel, and MountainAle is going to play Rus, and Extremis is going to play Ottomans. So MountainAle can play the Rus because he just lost the last game. And so as long as he doesn't win with the Civ, he can just pick it again. And so he needs to make it work. And it's gonna, it's gonna be Rus against Ottomans, which Extremis has won against a potentially better player before. And so Extremis also definitely a very solid Ottoman player. And so it's gonna be a very, very high stakes, very exciting game, I would expect, with MountainAle playing his main or one of his mains, and Extremis also playing one of his mains, or at least a civ that he's really good with. So that should be a very, very cool game. We have a minute observer delay, that is just fine. So Carmel, a little bit of a weird map. It looks a little bit like Basin, but it doesn't really play like Basin. The gold spawns can be really awkward sometimes. And so yeah, I'm not personally a super big fan of it, but the map exists. It is in the map pool, like in the ranked ladder map pool. So you probably have played on that map at one point or another. I don't think that any civ is particularly favored. Rus potentially because the bootlines can spawn very close to each other, so you can, if you're a little bit lucky, you can find a very busted high trade house spawn. But other than that, this is a very open map, which I don't know. I mean, it definitely can favor Rus if they're going for horse archers, like a fast castle into horse archer play. That is very, then the map is very Rus favored. So yeah, as we see, a very, very open map. A couple of like smaller cliffs here, but basically completely open map here. Couple wood lines for Extremis, who's playing the Ottomans. It's in the back, just around the trade post. For Rus, for MountainAle, it's actually in the front. And so depending on if he has the map control, you know, let's just what if. You could put a trade house here, and that would be an insane spawn. He also could fit it right in here, and that would be very, very good as well. So it could be here. He might look for that actually. His hunting cabins are a little bit overlapping here, so they're not actually as effective as they could be. But yeah, so you could place the trade house in here. Depending on the map control, you can place it here, or even look for something here if he wants to. If he's really adventurous. But for now, same opener as before. Double hunting cabin into double scout here. So definitely looking for pro scouts. There's a couple deer, a small deer pack over here, then there's two smaller ones over here, and then a big one over here, as well as a big one over here. So a ton of deer actually. Really a lot of deer that he can have, and they're all on his side. There's nothing on the middle, so he can grab his and then just sneak around the opponent and try to go for the other one. So this game it shouldn't be as easy for Extremis to shut down the pro scouting, that is for sure. So it should go a little bit better for MountainAle this time. So right out the gate, a very good spawn here for Roos. Also, I mean, having a natural wall like this in front of your base, you can just connect it here if you want to, and then one more here, and then your opponent has to go all the way around to even reach your base. And so in terms of like how do I raid that, it's like you go around here and like it's really difficult to raid that. And so Ottomans will probably have a lot of problems to raid that effectively. um, Extremis hasn't scouted that out yet, so he doesn't know about that. He just scouted his side of the base. Why is this not moving? And on the other side, we have the same situation as before, but the more scouts you have, the faster you obviously can scout the map. So MountainAle has almost completely scouted the map except for the Ottoman base. And so he doesn't know about the military school right now, which is not necessarily, I mean, okay, he knows by now. Now he probably knows it's either a barracks or it is a military school. You don't always usually open with the military school, it really depends on your game plan, and so I'm really curious to see what he's going to do with that. He's looking to go for the deer, and so even though he hasn't scouted it out yet, he can kind of tell where it will be because it's kind of mirrored. His deer on the left side, and then on the other side there's the deer for MountainAle. And so right now just going to go scout with the spearman, I guess, I don't know. And so that could be a way for him to disrupt the pro scouting once again. Twin minaret matrace coming up. So just having the safe berries in his base, a good solid food resource. And yeah, scattering and killing the deer, just to make sure that it's extra difficult for MountainAle to get something out of it. But I mean, for now he'll likely go for those deer here first, and then move over to this big one, and then eventually he will move over to these, to the big one. 10 deer, oh my goodness, that is really, really a lot of deer. So yeah, I mean, Carmel very strong for Roos, or Pro Scouts in general. So a very, very strong Pro Scout map, and MountainAle should be able to take advantage of that. On the other hand, we have a couple, so 2 spearmen so far on the field. One of them is busy just killing the deer, the other one is now moving over and looking for the deer here, which he should be able to find, but at the same time he will also find the town center, so that is a dead spearman. Right as he hits feudal age. Again, the Golden Gate, not a huge surprise here. And now, yeah, Pro Scouts is already being researched. So in 10 more seconds he will have it. And then he can start gathering. He is actually opting for this big pack here because he was able to push that deer pack, those 3 deer, into his base, into his town center. And so now he can... Yeah, I mean, he will have a field day. Like, this is so much food that will easily catapult him into the castle age. And so he should get a very, very solid timing. In terms of villagers, he's very big on wood right now. Very heavy on wood. Which also makes sense, because you do also want to go for aggression, because you know that your opponent is gonna be aggressive. There's a military school here, there's a second one coming, so you know that this is kind of going to be what you have to face. And he also, with the, you know, he played against Extremis, at least in the first game here, but probably also in the Swiss phase in one of the rounds, and so he knows that he likes to be aggressive. And yeah, you kind of need to have something against aggression. Because you can't, I mean, if he had a Kremlin it might be a different story, but other than, like, without the Kremlin you can't really just sit in your base and chill and hope that you will get the deer, you kind of need units as well. He's moving into archers just to get rid of the spear, but the spearman will have a very tough time with the Sipahi. So I know that this would delay the castle age timing quite a lot, but I would love to see some knights. Ruse has the option, the ability to go for early knights, so kind of like the French actually. Um, with the difference that you can't get chivalry, so they will not heal up again. But other than that, it's like the French, like the Royal Knight, and so a very strong unit. It's a heavy armored unit as well, um, and so you could take care of the Mechta, and Sipahi also don't really have a good chance against knights, even though Sipahi are very strong, but they're not that strong. They're not as strong as knights. Military schools both are switched to Sipahi, which I believe is the most cost-effective one. I mean, they take different time, different amount of times to produce. And so, if you're looking at what the resource, what the unit will cost, and how long it takes, Sipahi, I believe, the most cost-effective one. And so, very strong unit to go for. And spearmen, they are hard now. That is good. We'll make them a little bit more, more tough to deal with, but we have some archers, so that should be fine. MountainAle is just doubling down on this almost no military approach, and hopefully this will not bite him in the butt in a couple minutes. Because Ottomans, there's basically two different ways how you can play them. The one is going for fast castle, and then hoping that the Mehmet Imperial Armory is doing the job for you. And the other option is to go heavy feudal. Maybe not necessarily a fast like an all-in, but yeah, going heavy into feudal aggression with potentially an archer ball. The Mechta can also buff your units quite nicely with the attack speed bonus. And so Ottomans can be very tough to deal with. And I hope that MountainAle is going to come out on top here. There's one Sipahi here that should be able to clean these archers as soon as he stops chasing the scout. MountainAle hitting the castle age now. 43 trees, so like 2 less than last game, but I mean that doesn't really matter at all. Overall, a good position here, and now he can move into stronger units. He is again going into horse archers, which is a very popular Ruse build. Has 3 archer ranges already. Again, my issue with the horse archers is that they don't deal any bonus damage, and Sipahi are insanely strong against them. And if your main issue is the Sipahi, then the horse archers will not really be super effective. But at the same time, they will deal very good with the spearmen. And once the spearmen are gone, you can more or less kite the Sipahi. Not as good as you would like to, because Sipahi are faster, because they're the horsemen of the Ottomans, but they're a little bit slower than usual horsemen. And so it's actually kind of okay to go with horse archers against Sipahi. So we're gonna see what he is going to do. He's moving out just a little bit. What do they want from me now? Okay, someone in chat is being annoying again, so gotta check that out real quick. Anyway, again, just, yeah, maybe restart GG, and don't ping the admin that is casting right now. Just ping someone else. But yeah, did we miss anything? Extremis is moving into the castle age himself, 16 villagers, so that is quite fast. Relatively fast, wanting to get there. Has a strong, solid-looking Sipahi number on the field. So if I'm looking just at the units that we have here available, MountainAle with the horse archers and crossbows, and Extremis with the Sipahi mass, then this is gonna look very bad for MountainAle in a very short amount of time. He is walling off the eastern side of his base, so that is gonna prevent this raid from really doing anything here, as Extremis is finding out the hard way right now. So there is a wall in his face. It's actually a fortified palisade wall, so it's not the usual palisade wall. It's actually quite tanky. You know, 2,500 health is very, very much. And at the same time, MountainAle was able to find a raid with the horse archers, and that is where they come into play. They really shine because they're fast, they're strong, and they're picking off a couple villages. Might actually be able to kill all of them if he go. Okay, no. I mean, he doesn't have the vision here, so he doesn't want to overcommit. But that was a very good find. 10 villagers overall. I don't know if he lost somewhere else, some of the villagers, because that doesn't seem right that he lost 10 at this spot, at this position. But a very, very good raid by MountainAle here. Definitely pushing him ahead. Currently doesn't have a... No, he does have a warrior monk. Where's the warrior monk? Because he's looking for the relics, but he hasn't picked up... Oh, there it is. There it is! My idle warrior monk. What are you doing? So yeah, he did find all the relics, obviously, and there's 5 still on the field. He could actually try and secure all of them right now. Horse archers, crossbows, a couple of men-at-arms coming here in the mix. So they are very important because, yeah, now it's the front line here, and he actually popped the fortitude here, and that is gonna do quick work of everything here. Vololo coming out here just to prevent any more aggression. But this is what I was talking about. If you're only having horse archers and crossbows, I mean, there's a couple of... Oh, actually, no, it's not even men-at-arms, it's spearmen. I was confused because they have the axe. You know, the veteran spearmen from the Rus, they do get the axe, so look a little bit like the men-at-arms would potentially look. But yeah, so it's just spearmen in the front line, which the archers can clean very easily, and then you just have the horse archers and the crossbows, and that was a very bad fight for MountainAle. You would like in this situation, there's only a few spearmen. I would love to see the knights. I do not really understand. Like a couple patches ago, Ruse was played more or less, or at least potentially was played more or less, like, oh no, just donating the relic here. That feels bad. A couple patches ago, Ruse was basically played as the French. You just go for the feudal knights and put out some feudal aggression, because you do not necessarily need to go castle age, because everything you want to do you already have in feudal age with the knights. But ever since the horse archers, because they're castle age units, when they moved more into favor, the whole meta of the rules switched completely, and I don't really like it actually. I gotta be honest. I mean, MountainAle is floating a lot of wood as well, so he should switch that very fast, if possible. Have more villagers. I mean, he has a lot of villagers on the deer, that's fine. But honestly, like, go for the berries. Like, just get rid of them. and then like maybe go for a farm transition. That's a good 3 set full of farms. Or more military production, because he only has 1 stable right now and he's going for feudal horsemen, which the feudal horsemen are not really great. And now moving into archers, he is getting the upgrade now as well. But that will take a little bit of time, and meanwhile he is losing a couple of villagers here while he's trying to fortify his base. So a little bit scrambling here, a little bit of a miss macro here. He could hit. He has 1 ticket, so he can't really spend that. Yeah, that's looking very rough, and Extremis is playing this extremely well. I have to say. I mean, I was like, for the game I was saying that he's very good at Ottomans. He played again, he won against Zigitang. But even though the map, I would say, is heavily Rus favored, there's still a lot of deer, by the way, that MountainAle wasn't able to pick up yet. He still has 4 scouts. Okay, he's looking for the opponent's deer first. That is fine. Why not? As long as you're not running out of deer, you can always go for the opponent once. That's totally fine. And I mean, the horsemen, I do understand. They're mainly to take care of the MountainAle and also the backline crossbow archer comp. But how do you deal with the Sipahi? That's the... I mean, they're budget knights in a sense, and it's really tough to deal with them. And so I don't... Yeah, I mean, he has a lot of spearmen. That's nice. But again, still the feudal age horsemen only, and now he's moving. He has some nice mangonels here and some good shot here, firing away the Sipahi. Unfortunately, not dealing a whole lot of damage, but that was a very good engage here by MountainAle. He could look to hit the backline with the, and he's aiming for the backline right now, and that should be a very nice connect. Look at that damage. A very good fight here. The spearman now moving into the backline. And Extremis lost basically everything right now. A good counter shot here by him as well, so that's a lot of damage. But overall, that was a very good fight here by MountainAle, or for MountainAle. This mangonel will go down as well. And all the while we do have... Oh, that is not what was supposed to happen. Oh, please don't... No. No, that's a hate crime. Why are you moving over? Why is the boar moving over there? Like, I don't even know what like, did MountainAle attack the boar? And then just stopped attacking? Oh my goodness. That is so frustrating. Yeah, he attacked it. Like, he wanted to kill it, but the villagers were not... Oh my... Oh my... What? Like, that boar is on a mission. That boar really hates gold diggers. I mean, who doesn't like... who doesn't hate gold diggers, but like the other kind of gold diggers. Yeah. Oh my goodness, this is so brutal. That boar killed at least 5 villagers. Potentially more, because like MountainAle wanted to go for the boar with the villagers, so he presumably took more than 5 villagers to get that down. There's still 1 more relic, so both players having 2 relics right now. Warrior Monk's not doing anything, could move up to the... Oh yeah, he actually would get it still, if he would get there. No, it's not moving out. I was gonna say, like, it was moving out, just barely. That boar! Oh my goodness! Oh, this is actually torching down the mining camp. Like, how much is it? Like 15 damage. Like, I would laugh so hard if that would actually deal bonus damage against. No, it's not. It's continuing that. Oh my goodness. That is a personal vendetta of that boar, if I've ever seen one. Some good mangonel shots to the front line, but again, Sipahi a little bit too tanky to effectively deal with. There's not really a front line here for MountainAle left, and now it's a reverse sweep once again. The front line is gone, the crossbows will get evaporated, the MountainAle is getting destroyed. A good shot here on the Springhold, getting rid of that still, but man, that was a brutal fight here for MountainAle. And again, there it is, there's the knight. Like 10 minutes too late, but we do have a knight on the field. 2 actually. Oh my god. Please stop. Oh my goodness. Yeah, and MountainAle finally realizing what happened here with that boar, and that boar is finally moving over and taking a chill pill. My goodness. That was oof. Oh my goodness, that was really brutal here. Meanwhile, this warrior monk is just chilling life. And Extremis is taking the sacred sites. So one of them he took already, he's up to 3 relics, so he took the 3rd one. And now could actually kind of pressure a sacred victory here. He does have a bombard, so he did move, like he did use one of the vizier points. Yep, there it is, the great bombard. So you do have one in Castle Age. It is a Castle Age great bombard, so it's not as big and strong as it is in the Imperial Age, but it is a great bombard, and so that is very effective against the walls. You can bomb down the trade house, and once that is down, 161 passive gold income for Rus is gone. So that would be very, very difficult. And yeah, MountainAle needs to hold that one. Extremis doesn't want to push out right now. He's just securing the gold and the stone here. So that's 12,000 gold and another 1.2k stone secured with the keep. So I really like that position. And he's grabbing the 2nd sacred site. And so again, that could kind of be a sacred victory pressure coming up. 10 more minutes. And it's some nice passive gold income. 200 gold income, just like that. And it also puts a little bit of pressure on MountainAle, who's now on a timer. He needs to make it work. I mean, he can easily deny that and recap it. So that shouldn't be an issue right now, but it is a little bit of a pressure here. He's moving out, but just now seeing that there's actually a keep, which you do not want to... Oh my goodness, that bombard shot. You do not want to engage with the keep. And this is looking like a very bad fight again for MountainAle. There's so many archers and a couple of janissaries even in the backline, buffed by the Mechta. A good shot here by the MountainAle, but it's only one MountainAle and there's basically nothing here in terms of army standing for MountainAle. MountainAle just barely not making it out alive. So that is going to be an issue sooner or later, because that MountainAle would be really good against the backline, but you don't have it. There's one more here, and that's it. That's the only MountainAle. And Extremis is taking the opportunity. He's pushing in. He will lose the 1 sacred site more or less soon, but Spy in the backline here, cleaning out the MountainAle, now moving on to the crossbows. A couple more spearmen and crossbows in the back, but in terms like number and army value is way in favor of Extremis. A very solid push here. A little bit of an oversight by MountainAle that he was running into the keep and taking a fight that he didn't want to take. But overall, very solidly played by Extremis. A very good series. And winning the middle bracket 2-0. So shout out to MountainAle, shout out to Extremis. He's currently, as I'm recording this, also streaming. And yeah, very, very strong play, and he was showing that the Ottomans are not bad. You know, like they're not super favored right now in terms of pro players. Not a whole lot of pro players are playing them right now. But Ottomans can work if you know how to play them and if you can catch your opponent off guard a little bit. They have a good unit production. They don't really have a great eco, but they make up for that with the military schools and the production there. And so very solid series here for MountainAle. We're gonna move it over to the top bracket. Let's see. Top bracket, because top bracket and bottom bracket, they're both in the finals and both have played one game at least. Mm. Oh, is top bracket not observable? That would be a shame. Let's take a look. Oh, okay, so Stream sniped me. Kareem, he's in lobby right now. Is he offline now? Did they just finish their series? Let's see. Okay, he's offline, so that could mean that he. So let's see. Okay, he lost the first one, Mongols against Japanese, yeah, and he just lost the second one, All of the Dragon against Rus. Okay, so top bracket S is actually done already, which means I can quickly switch over to the bottom bracket instead. They hopefully should be still going. No, actually, I think they just finished the second game. Kinda looks like it at least. Let's take a quick look if I can find anything here. Looks like they're done. Well, in that case, Saladin winning 2-0 against Sherlock, and in the bottom bracket, and Parkour Freak winning 2-0 against Kareem. So a 2-0 best of 3 series in all 3 brackets. That is very rare, I would say. So yeah, great series by all of them. I was unfortunately not able to catch the top and bottom bracket, but a very good mid-bracket series, and was fun playing there as well. And if you guys think that you can do it better, feel free to join us every week in our Loyal Legends tournaments. We're hosting these tournaments every week on Saturdays for all players up to a certain elo amount, 1550. So Conqueror 1 kind of Conqueror 2 would be the cap. So if you're Conqueror 1 or below, you can sign up for our tournaments. You can participate there for free, and you can win a prize money as well as coaching from 2 of our admins, Askeladd and Draxus. And you can also win coaching from Myriad, who's a very well known and very good player, and also a very, very, very nice player as well. I had the pleasure to meet him in Hamburg a couple months ago, and he's a really nice guy. Currently ranked 19, so definitely a good player. So yeah, go check him out for sure. And if you are interested in winning free coaching with him or with the other admins who are also very good players, um, you can join our tournaments and you have the chance to win a coaching raffle. And if you enjoyed what you see, you can follow us on Twitch, on YouTube. You can join our Discord, and you can donate if you can, because we're community driven. So everything we do is with the community contributions. We're 100% community funded. We don't get paid by or for what we do. And so if you want to support us, you can leave us a like as well as a follow and some donations if you can. That would be very appreciated. And with that, I am going to switch it over. Rising Empires is still going for the, I don't know if it's the finals right now. It kind of looks like finals because it says against Downfall. So we're gonna switch that over real quick and just raid them with those few people here. So thanks for watching. And yeah, I hope to see you next week.